Hello everyone, my name is Shokrukhbek Yahyayev and I welcome you to our new DLC tutorial. In this particular tutorial, you're going to learn Consensus Theorem and we're going to use it in order to minimize the given function. So let's start from the Consensus Theorem 17a. Before considering this given function, let me briefly explain the main working principles of this particular theorem. So consider we are given you have this kind of function, right? AB multiplied A bar C. So consensus theorem basically is reduction law. So that means actually here not multiplication plus, right? So that means you create a new function element. Let's say these are function elements, right? You create new function element only choosing the inputs, only choosing inputs which do not have itself and negation of itself. So for example, here if you want to use consensus theorem, you add element. So let's say you add element. So which element you add? Choose one without its negation, right? I mean, for example, there is B, right? So we're gonna choose B because there's no negation of B in this element. So we're going to choose C because there's no negation of C in this element. But we're not going to choose A because there's a negation of A in both, in this element and in this element, right? For example, here it's A, negation of A is A bar. Here is A bar, negation of A bar is A. So choose without negation, let's say, right? So then that's it. This is a working principle. So final answer is going to be what? A B plus A C, A bar AC plus BC. So this has been added, okay? Has been added. So now you have used consensus law. So it's pretty easy. You just add new element. You choose only one's inputs which don't have its negation in other inputs, okay? So now let's consider this function, okay, and use consensus theorem during the process of minimizing it, okay? This is a homework question 2.2 period 35. So I'm going to begin from here. The very first thing I'm going to do is, let me open this. I'm going to take this x1 bar out of the bracket, okay? So what do we have now? x1 bar. So we are left with x3 bar, x5 bar. Let me quickly write it. x3 bar, x4 bar plus x4, x5. And plus here what we have left with this one. So here this task is to minimize the given function, and during the process of solving the task is to use consensus law. So now let's analyze this bracket. So what do we have here? Yeah, I've got it. So as you can see, we have two elements. You don't have to consider all three elements while choosing the element to add. While choosing this element, while finding out which element to add, you don't have to consider all these elements, okay? You consider just 2 or 3, okay? It's just enough. So for example, now I'm solving this problem now just the first time in order to look like it's like natural. So for example, you can see that there is x5 bar and there's x5. So we're gonna consider these two elements in order to use the consensus law. So as you can see, there is an element input x5 which has its negation in another element. So there's x4 and x3 bar which don't have any of their negation. So we're going to add to this whole bracket what? x3 bar, x4. You got it? So you don't have to consider all these elements. Just take 2 or 3 elements and find out which element has, let's say, its negation form, and take only others. I mean, here x5 has negation, so we don't take it. Take others and put it together as a one element. This is an element, right? And add to this sequence of inputs or elements, let's say. So let's consider, let's add this one. So x1, so let's start from here. So x1, so I'm adding new elements, so x5, so plus x3 bar, x4, okay, let's continue. So let's put here plus, let's continue in black, x3. Okay, I'm rewriting the remaining part. Okay, so x5. So basically, consensus theorem just so beneficial that you add something. Okay, you add this something, let's say, and this gives you more options in order to simplify. For example, when we just have this bracket, it was a little bit difficult to minimize it. But now let's consider the case after adding this new element. Okay. So I see that I can take this x3, no, let's say, I can take this x3 out of the bracket, and this x3 out of bracket, and this also out of the bracket. So let's consider this case. So for example, x3 bar, not x3, but x3 bar. So we have left with x5 bar plus x4 plus x4 bar. And remaining this one, rewriting again it, x4, x5, and this one quickly, x3, x5. So see, as you know, this is always one, right? I mean, you know the formula, I mean, you know the case, right? When a plus a bar is always 1, because this is an OR operation. For example, if x4 or a is 0, I'm writing instead of x4 a, okay? If a is 0, so a bar is 1, so 0 plus 1 is 1. If a is 1 and a bar is going to be 0 in this case, not 1, so again 1. So instead of this, we can write, instead of this, we can write 1. So we now have x5 bar plus 1, and x5 bar plus 1 is always 1, because this is an OR operation. If one of the inputs of OR operation, this is OR, is 1, the result is 1. So that means this whole bracket is 1, right? So we have left with what? x3 bar multiplied to 1, and this is going to be x3, right? Because, see, if x3 is 1, x3 bar is going to be 0. 0 multiplied to 0 is 0. If x3 is 1, no, yeah, I mean, here x3 is 1. So stop. Yeah, I mean, if it's going to be x3 bar, because if x3 bar is 0, it's going to be 0. If x3 bar is 1, it's going to be 1 multiplied 1, 1. Okay, I think you got it, right? So let me quickly delete it. So again, yeah, I guess you got it. So this whole bracket is going to be just 1. So let me write it from here. So now we have only x3 bar, right, multiplied to before the bracket we have x1 bar, this one, don't forget it, then x3 bar. I guess you got it. So this whole bracket is going to be 1. So then plus x4, x5. So don't forget this one, and let me write the remaining part, x5. So let's continue in the below. Let's open the brackets. So let's multiply to this one, multiply to this one and open the brackets. So what do I have now? So x1 bar, x3 bar plus x1 bar, x4, x5. So I guess you know now, right? Have to use consensus theorem 17a. So let's finish minimization till the end. I guess we don't need to use again consensus theorem, but let us see. I don't know. So yeah, we want to minimize this, you know. I mean, it has so many inputs. So let's see that we have here x3 bar and here also x3 bar. Let's take this x3 bar out of the bracket. So what we have now, let's write first of all this one, x1 bar, x4, x5, plus, sorry, I forgot to write x3 bar, and x1 bar plus x1, x2 bar, x5. So see, now here we have x1 bar, here we have x1, and let's say this x2 bar multiplied to x5, let's denote it as a, not a, but let's say b, and let's say this x1 bar is a. I guess now we can rewrite this elements in the bracket like that. So a is x1 bar plus, instead of x1 I'm going to write negation of a. So negation of a, sorry, oh pity, sorry, negation of a is going to be what? Negation of a is going to be a bar, right? And instead of x2, let's write it in red color, x2 bar x5, I'm going to write b. So now let's consider this element, this expression. I guess you know that this is going to be a plus b. This a law, and we have considered this law in our previous tutorial. So just remember it, that a plus a bar b is going to be a plus b. So in this particular case, a is going to, our a is x1 bar, and plus our b is going to be just x2 bar x5. So instead of this whole expression in the bracket, we're going to substitute it with this one. Whew. So let's continue. So x1, rewriting this again, x1 bar x4 x5 plus x3 bar multiplied to x1 bar plus x2 x5. So let me open the brackets now. So what we have left is x1 bar x3 bar plus x2 bar x3 bar, I'm multiplying to this, x2 bar x3 bar x5, and plus x1 bar x4 x5. Yeah, this is our answer. So this is a minimum sum of the products. As this tutorial has become a little bit long, so let's finish this part of the consensus theorem, learning of consensus theorem, and discuss other properties in our next tutorial. So if you have any kind of questions, please write under the comments or just ask your question in our forum in the website. It's going to be published soon, and alright, just your message through the Telegram bot. So see you soon in our next tutorials.